It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good afternoon to you. Welcome into game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140. It's the Kings and the Thunder again. Game 2 of the 2-game set. Sacramento looks to sweep in Oklahoma City before coming back home to take on the Clippers on Friday night. Sacramento 10 games above 500. The first time since they won 50 games. You have to go back to the 04-05 season. They are rolling right now. They're 17-13 on the road as well. Everything looking good. But, of course, the one thing we're trying to figure out, will De'Aaron Fox play tonight or not? Listed as questionable with the left wrist soreness. He went through non-contact drills in the shoot-around today, but we do not have official word whether De'Aaron will be in the game or not. And, of course, we know high flyer in the 5 games that De'Aaron has missed. The Kings are just 1-4, so that's something obviously which is a big part of the story today. Well, I don't hear you. Do we have the high flyer up? Now we do.
Do we?
Now we do.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Kyle didn't want to hear from you today, I guess.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, Scott, there's no question about what De'Aaron brings for this basketball club. We know he's the head of the snake. We know he's a tone setter, and we know he's missed the fourth quarter. Yep. So if De'Aaron doesn't play tonight, it definitely changed the narrative, but it shouldn't change the overall goal for this basketball team. Injuries are going to happen. Guys are going to be sick. You're going to miss players. That's part of the game. That's why you have more than just 5 players on the basketball team. Other guys have to step up, and other guys have to step in and try to get the job done. There's
no doubt about that. And right now, injuries are affecting many teams in the league. We're going to get into that throughout the hour. Of course, the big news with LeBron. We'll update you on his ankle injury, where that stands. And, of course, for OKC tonight, Gilgeous-Alexander will miss his 3rd straight game with the ankle injury he has, the abdominal strain as well. Henry and I will be with you until 4:30 today, getting you ready for Kings Live pregame. Tip tonight, 5 o'clock in Oklahoma City, the 3,001st broadcast for the G-Man. We have to go back to that because 3,000 was so special, and we knew it was going to be special going into Sunday, but we had no idea how special it was going to be after the Kings victory. I am still absolutely in awe and floored at what Mike Brown and the Sacramento Kings did for G-Man after that game. I don't think I've seen a more moving, a more touching tribute than in the locker room when they awarded him the defensive player of the game shade. He led the together chant at the end of it, the comments that Mike Brown made, the genuine love of the players for G-Man. That was awesome.
Scooter, first of all, you have to go back and say not just what they did for, G-Man's 30th. I mean, that was very special, but, for the overall change in the organization, period. Mike Brown has done something that a lot of other coaches have tried to do and wasn't successful. I'm talking about change a whole culture, change the team dynamic. And then, what they did for G-Man almost brought a tear to my eye.
Yes, me too.
Because, I've been around this organization since '89, and I haven't seen nothing like that to where the team has come along and really galvanized and took on something of that magnitude. We're talking about, a guy that's been around this organization since '85.
Yes.
He's called every last single Kings game, and for him to reach that 3,000 milestone, Scott, that's something that, is large in this league.
No doubt. It is something that was epic, and the Kings honored him so appropriately. It almost brought a tear to the G-Man's eyes, too. You could see him about to well up, and then he caught himself. And if you haven't seen the video, of course, I believe most people watching us on the YouTube, listening to us right here on Sactown Sports 1140 have. But if you haven't, you've got to go to the Sacramento Kings page and see that. And, of course, we've sent that out as well right here on Sactown Sports 1140. If you want to join the program, you can call us at 1-800-920 1140. And of course, we'll be in the YouTube. You can watch us there on Sactown 1140 on YouTube as well. We'll be talking during the break as well. All right, we do have official word on De'Aaron Fox. He has been ruled out. So that'll create a new wrinkle for this Kings team, obviously. Another chance for Davion Mitchell to step up and try and get the job done here.
It's another chance for D. Mitch to come out and, show that he can lead this basketball team. I think it's something that's really, truly warranted on his end, to show this club that he can get the job done. It's going to be another chance for Malik Monk to come out and have another Herculean effort like he did the last time these two clubs met. It's going to be another chance for TD. TD is going to get a lot of run tonight, to show that he can still be that solidified scorer off the bench. And it's going to give Kevin Huerter some more time to where he can get out of his slump and get his basketball game back on track.
Yeah, what do you think is going on with Kevin? Is it just simply a mid-season slump?
Simply, he's not shooting the ball well. Scott, all players go through it. Some players, slumps are, different than others to where, okay, they're not averaging 20, but they're only averaging 15, 16. So, it doesn't seem so glaring. Right now, I think Kevin Huerter is just trying to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
The 3-point shot isn't dropping for him. So, he has to try to, interject his game in other ways, get to the basket, get to the free throw line, get steals, get assists. There's other things you can do to be productive to where people say, okay, he's not scoring, but he is doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, no question. For Huerter, he was 0-4 on Sunday from downtown. He had just 6 points, played 20 minutes. But to your point, just 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He turned it over 4 times. So it feels like the lack of shooting is starting to affect other aspects of his game.
Oh, no. I mean, come on, Scott. We are a jump shooting team. Not just Kevin Huerter. I'm talking about the squad. We are a jump shooting team. And when they don't shoot the ball well, other aspects of their game goes along with their shooting. But, he's going to have to realize early and often that, okay, if your shot isn't falling, that's okay. It's not the end of the day. It's other things that you can do to where you can put your impact on the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, opposite direction, Keegan Murray had himself a ball game on Sunday, 20 points, but to the point, had 6 rebounds. He had 3 steals. He was taking it to the rack. It's the Keegan Murray that Mike Brown's trying to bring out of him, and we're starting to see more of.
And let's keep it 100. Keegan Murray just got back on track. He struggled for a long time.
Sure.
He hit that rookie wall. He's having his rookie woes, but he's starting to come out of it, Scott. All players go through that. It isn't a big deal. It's just all about how you react to it. You can't put your head down. You can't sulk. You can't slump. You have to keep playing the basketball game. Now, we haven't seen that out of Kevin Huerter, but still, Kevin Huerter is a veteran in this league. You need to understand, okay, the shot's not falling from 3. Let's see if the shot fall from 2. All right, the shot's not falling from 2. Let me see if I can create some contact, get to the free throw line, and see what I can knock down a free throw.
No doubt. Now, what is big, Fox's numbers, because it's not that you're just missing De'Aaron Fox. We know how tough that is, but De'Aaron Fox, the way he's played the last 7 games, he's averaging in his last 7 games 34.5 points, 7 assists, over 4 rebounds, 2 steals, shooting 58% from the field. I don't think there's been a better clip in De'Aaron Fox's career than what we've seen in the last 7.
No, not at all. And Scott, you're just not missing the scoring, okay? If it's the scoring of De'Aaron Fox you're just missing, you can probably interject a couple of guys off the bench that will equal what De'Aaron averages. What you're missing is Mr. Clutch. You're missing Mr. Right on time. Whenever you need a bucket, De'Aaron Fox is there for you. Whenever you need a steal, De'Aaron Fox is there for you. Whenever you need somebody to get the other guys galvanized, De'Aaron Fox is there for you. That's the bigger picture that you miss when he's not on the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. The Kings will have to see if they can get it going. And, obviously it is a good chance for Davion Mitchell, who has struggled, and we've seen him play well at times. Certainly the defense has always been there, but maybe this is just another opportunity for him to kind of get things going.
Try to get his confidence back, Scott. That's the only thing that's missing from Davion Mitchell. And I still think Davion Mitchell is still trying to find his way about where he lands in this scheme of the offense, because we know he's solid on the defensive end. He's one of the best guys on the floor. but I think he's still trying to find his way in the offense. You know, is he the two option, the third option, the fourth option, the fifth option? Okay, you know, do I try to interject here? Do I try to interject there? I think he's really confused of when and where to pull the trigger.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I think Sunday's game, the thing that was most impressive to me about the game was just the way they came out. We talked about it on game night on Sunday. Would the Kings be able to come back after that double overtime when the excitement, the travel, everything else, they were on a back-to-back before that? Would they be up for the game early on?
Mm-hmm.
They definitely were. To your point, because you thought they would be.
Yeah, I mean, came out and got the job done.
They did.
But Scott,
never trailed in that game.
Never trailed. You know, everybody was focused. Everybody was locked in. It was all hands on deck. I think this basketball team is really starting to realize and starting to sink in to all the players that the overall goal is at hand. Mm-hmm. It's right there in reach. So if you come out and stay focused, you're getting closer and closer and closer to where you want to be. You don't have time, Scott, to sit there and enjoy the fruits of your labor of what you have done. It's not that time yet. It's still time to keep your foot on the accelerator.
Yeah, no question. Still 22 games left for the Sacramento Kings, but currently at 35-25, solidly in the third spot in the Western Conference. All right, we'll go to the break. Game night underway here. When we come back, we alluded to all the injuries in the league. Obviously, LeBron James will give you an update on his injury from Sunday. That and a lot more. We'll continue to break down the Kings and Oklahoma City. Second straight between these two teams. It's game night, brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ. Or go to powercopiers.com. More of game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
All right. All right. We are live on YouTube.
All right. Henry's going to step out for a moment. So it'll be you and me, Kyle.
The Scott Marsh and Kyle Ledbetter show.
Bring it, Mr. Tatis. I don't know if people can see your San Diego jersey there.
Yes, we got Fernando Tatis Jr. in the house here. So
when's he back? Like in late August?
No, not late August. It's like 20-something games, and then he's back. It won't be too long, and then we'll get our...
Are you happy Machado got $350 million?
I'm just happy he's going to be our third baseman for 15 years, a walk into the Hall of Fame as long as he has 4 more solid years. I'm just happy he's going to be around, regardless of how he plays.
Okay, fine.
So in the chat,
let's hear about the chat.
We're having a conversation about Goran Dragic, who is now available at this point. There's obviously an availability of a third string point guard per se for the Kings. What are your thoughts about that?
I like it because he's a veteran guard who can come in and contribute. To the point, tonight we're missing De'Aaron Fox. Davion Mitchell has not proven yet that he is the go-to backup point guard, not this year anyway. So to me, if you can sign him for a minimum, you've got the space, I would at a heartbeat. So Henry, we're talking about Goran Dragic, who was let go, and High Flyer can't hear us for the moment. So we'll get that straightened away. Are you on audition over there? As we're in the chat room?
I've got to go switch it for him real quick.
We'll fix it. But for me, Dragic would be a great addition for the Kings because it would solve a potential need as you move into the playoffs. I would have preferred if they had made the move to fit the need with Sabonis with another big man, but that didn't happen with Plumlee and my personal favorite, Jakob Poeltl, who went to Toronto for not much. But the question is, High Flyer, Goran Dragic has been bought out. He's available. Should the Kings really try to sign him?
Not bad. Not bad.
He would be that backup for De'Aaron.
Not bad. You know, a veteran that has played at a very high level, a guy that knows how to run a system. He can knock down a 3-point shot. He can stretch the floor. He can get to the basket and score.
Right.
So, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I think so. Now, I guess the question would be if we're trying to read Mike Brown's mind, which obviously we can't. We're not inside him. But Dellavedova is the reason that he's there because he's Mike Brown's guy, right? So if the Kings make that move, probably Dellavedova, he may or may not.
Yeah, you would be bringing him in basically to fill the Delly spot because I still feel like Davion is going to be part of the 8-man rotation once the playoffs come around.
Yeah,
true, but it would definitely. I don't know how Coach Brown is going to be able to interject another guard, but I'll tell you what, if you're able to have this guy on your roster, it's definitely an upgrade.
I agree with that 100%. I've always liked his game, and he's playoff tested. And again, for me, like, I would have liked to have seen them pick up one more big guy if we're talking about just doing one signing. But I think the backup point guard, it certainly couldn't hurt you.
No, it couldn't hurt at all. And Scott,
10 seconds.
The one question that I probably would have,
and save that for the radio side. We'll bring it back, or we're coming back. Welcome back in the game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Glad to have you listening on a Tuesday afternoon. If you want to give us a call, 1-800-920-1140. Some great chat as we continue to talk during the break on the YouTube side, and a good chat in our Sactown 1140 chat room on YouTube, asking about Goran Dragic. He's a free agent now. Bulls have waived him. Should Sacramento really try to make a move to sign him? And you had a question about that we left for the radio side.
Yeah, because, Dragic is a veteran. He is who he is, so he isn't a guy to where you bring in and you say, okay, well, we hope we can get him to do this. You just have to go with his strengths. Now, we know offensively, he can play this basketball game. He's very good on the offensive end. Defensively, what type of player is Goran Dragic? I haven't really studied his defensive game.
Not a big-time defender.
Right. And so, is that going to be a situation to where, I thought the team was trying to really bring guys in who was Mike Brown guys. And if you're not a defensive player, you're not a Mike Brown guy.
Well, that's a good point there. And Dragic is 36 years old now also. That doesn't mean he can't play. He appeared in 51 games with the Bulls, averaging 6.5 points, a little under 3 assists, played about 15 minutes per season in his 15th NBA season.
No, but what I'm saying, Scott, I'm not saying he can't play.
No, I know, but defensively, what's he going to do?
Yeah, what I'm saying is on the defensive end, is he going to be another guy to where you say, wow, he can't stay in front of his man?
Well, let me ask you this. What kind of defender do you think Dellavedova is? I mean, if we're just comparing position to position.
Well, to keep it 100, we don't never see Delly. Okay?
Right.
All we do is see Delly around the sidelines.
True.
This is a guy you're talking about utilizing. So at the end of the day, when you start looking at making upgrades for this basketball team, you would think that they would upgrade on the defensive end. You don't want to bring another guy on your roster to where you're still talking about, oh, well, we got another guy that can't stay in front of his man.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, but a lot of talk about needing somebody to back up De'Aaron Fox and Dragic, certainly.
Don't get me wrong. I like him.
Yeah. Will Barton, by the way, has been picked up by the Raptors.
I knew he wouldn't
being bought out.
I knew he wasn't going to be on the waiver line long.
No, he's too good a player. And how about the Raptors? They're making some moves. I mean, they picked up Pirtle, who you and I agree, nice sign. Didn't give up much. Woo. They're a team that's borderline playoff, but they're certainly making moves.
You know what, Scooter? I was definitely in the line of the Pirtle lottery.
Yeah,
let's call it
exactly.
That. I was definitely in line on that one, because I think he's a very good big man in this league. He can do a lot of things. And, and for the Raptors to pick him up, that's a big time sign for them, whether they want to keep him or, he can easily be moved for equity.
Yeah, no doubt. And he was waived by the Wizards. All right. When we came back from the break, we started talking about the injuries. Obviously, injuries are affecting this game big time tonight between the Kings and Thunder. No De'Aaron Fox, that's official, out with his left wrist soreness. No Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So two of the three all-stars who would normally be out on the floor tonight, unavailable. Obviously, the Lakers, huge news for them. The latest, LeBron James on the injured right foot. They're expected to reassess it in 2 weeks to see how much progress he's made. But the timeline for his return is expected to extend beyond that checkpoint. That's all according to Adrian Wojnarowski. So not good news for the Lakers. And the funny thing is, when we were doing game night on Sunday, we saw the incident. He stayed in the game. He looked fine, but obviously afterwards it wasn't so good. And now are the Lakers done?
Lakers been done, if you ask me. I mean, everybody wants to say that, the moves they made, the Lakers are back, the Lakers are going to be able to do this. No, it hasn't been seen. You know, if let's see right now, how long is Anthony Davis going to be able to, will this basketball team the same way LeBron did?
Right. And how long will AD be out there?
That's
I think
the question.
It's a fair question, right?
That's the question, right?
So, and all the talk about how the Lakers, if they could pick a team they wanted to match up with in the playoffs, it would be Sacramento because they've got the experience factor. Well, I mean, you can throw that all out the window right now, can't you?
I honestly felt like you could have threw that out the window with LeBron.
Yeah.
That team still hasn't done anything to warrant someone to say, oh, the Lakers are this, the Lakers are that. All they're doing is they're looking at some names on a piece of paper, and we know what that piece of paper is worth.
I hear you. The Lakers are currently 29-32. They're just a half game back of that final play-in spot. They've got 21 games left.
I give the Clippers more praise than I give the Lakers. The Clippers are a better basketball team than what the Lakers are.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
When you look at that paper, everybody jumps out, oh, the Lakers are this, the Lakers are that. No, the Lakers is still a struggling basketball team that needs to retool from the bottom up.
Okay. Speaking of their team that's struggling, I mean, they're definitely in the lottery, and this only probably helped their chances with Wembanyama in terms of, the final three teams all have the same percentage of getting Wembanyama. But LaMelo Ball is going to be out for the remainder of the year, fractured his right ankle in last night's game against the Pistons.
That's
so
tough.
He's done for the year. Yeah, you hate to see it. And, we talk about it every year, the injury factor that's going on. Health, the most important thing. Obviously, the Kings, as we continue to knock, have had good health for the most part this year. It does feel like, especially since the All-Star break, there has been a rash of injuries. And I'm just curious, with the 9 days off, anything like that, is that a fair assessment at all?
No, I mean, you would have thought with the 9 days off, everybody
in
would have
better
came
shape.
back. Yeah, right.
You just wondered, trying to get back at it after being off for an extended period of time.
Right, no doubt. I honestly just see, guys get hurt, players get hurt, and especially in today's game. In today's game, an injury that keeps you out 3 weeks was something that we just taped up and kept playing with.
Right. I think that's the biggest point, is we're just much more aware of all these injuries now than we ever were, right?
No. I think the injuries now are I won't say magnified, but it was a situation to where, guys will sit down a lot easier than what we did back in the day.
Right. The money's just completely different.
The money changed the situation.
Yep. Agree with that. Well, one player who is coming back tonight, making his debut with the Suns, will be Kevin Durant. They will be taking on that Charlotte Hornets team.
Well, the Phoenix Suns got to get in gear. They really have to get Kevin Durant acclimated to what they do. I don't think it's going to take long, because Kevin Durant is the type of player to where he can play on any squad and be highly productive on any squad. His basketball IQ is just that big. So, seeing that he's coming back for Phoenix, I think right now Phoenix is just trying to make that mad push.
Yep, no doubt. So the Suns right now are in fourth place. They're 33-29. They're 4 games back in the loss column of Sacramento. They're 6 back of the Grizz. The Nuggets ahead of the pack, 43-19. They almost, to me, feel uncatchable with 20 games to go. Maybe not, but for the Suns, how high will they go here?
That I don't know.
What do you think?
That I don't know. I mean, they're in 4th right now, Scooter. Yep. Well, they can't go too much higher.
They're going to pass the Kings?
Of course, they have their sights on the Kings. And the thing about it, that in order for them to pass the Kings, they are definitely going to have to get on a roll, no doubt. And the Kings got to see them twice. So it's going to be some head-to-head, mano-a-mano type games between Phoenix and Sacramento.
There's no question about that. That is going to be a lot of fun. The Suns are here on the 24th of March. That will be a monster game in Sacramento, for sure. So obviously injuries a big part of what's going on. The Suns are getting healthy at the right time, and watch out for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, they're getting healthy, but like I said, is the chemistry going to be there? I honestly think it will be, because of the type of player that Kevin Durant is, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. It's early on. The Kings might catch them on one of those games to where it just ain't quite clicking. You never know. But at the end of the day, the Kings have to go through them, and they have to go through the Kings. And it's going to be 2 hell of a games when both of those teams meet.
It's going to be on. And the game Friday night against the Clippers, that's going to be a lot of fun at Golden One Center.
That's going to be the main one right there.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait for that atmosphere Friday night.
I mean, it's always asinine to me, and it's giving a little disrespect to the game tonight.
Yeah.
Because we're looking over this game tonight.
Yeah, true.
But still, I have to agree with you. This Clipper game is going to be huge for the Sacramento Kings. But all in all, they need to take care of tonight. Because I honestly feel like if they don't take care of tonight, the Clipper game that they had meant nothing. Yeah. It really meant nothing to me because, we're still looking at the overall goal. Now, when you start talking about mindset and other things, setting the presence, that Clipper game meant a lot, and you can't take that away. The way the Kings came in and played the Clippers, gave them everything that they wanted. The Clippers played a great game.
They did.
And still couldn't win. So when you start talking about overall mental aspect and the morale of it, the Clippers might walk into that game being like, okay, fellas, y'all know we gave everything we had at home and couldn't beat them, and now we got to go to their spot.
There could be some seeds of doubt, no doubt. I mean, Kawhi and Paul George combined for 78 points. Fantastic. The problem is Monk and Fox combined for 87.
Bro, it was a great game. I mean, like I said, at the end of the game, I text my cousin, Brian Shaw, and I'm like, bro, woo. And he texted me back. He was like, man, we gave them everything, and they just wouldn't stop coming.
Yep.
So, that sends a signal to you like, they're not going to stop.
Exactly.
They're not going to stop. So what do? Do you concede or just say, okay, we're going to go on to the next game?
No question. If you're a Kings fan this past weekend, I mean, it had to be one of the greatest weekends the Kings have had in their 38-year franchise in terms of regular season.
Scott, it's been so exciting, man, this run with this basketball team. It's been exciting for me from the beginning. I mean, just to see, Coach Brown come in here and work his magic. The way he takes care of things and the way he does and the way he gets the guys motivated, it really makes me want to say I would play for a guy like that, because he's definitely changed the whole situation. And now you're starting to see the fruits of his labor and the things that's going on with this team and the productivity that they're starting to have. Man, I'm having fun.
I'm bought in, that's for sure. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at the other games around the league. We'll get you caught up also on the Who's on the Floor report. That's coming your way as well. This is Game Night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
All righty, we are live on YouTube.
All right, what do we got? What's the latest in the chat?
Well, the talk about the Clipper game has some people overlooking the Oklahoma City game, and some people is me, because Oklahoma City without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is trash.
How'd you pronounce his name?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but I'm just doing it to be a nuisance at this point. It's correct.
I got it.
Correct is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, yes.
So
I got to be honest. I mean, it's hard for me not to overlook tonight's game because I'm so excited about Friday night's
I am
game.
so ready for that Clippers game. I mean, Henry, we were in studio on Friday. That game was just incredible.
Yeah, the game was, man. The game was, but like I said, I'm taking it game by game. I want to make sure. I don't want no slippage. I don't want no oops, what happened here? Because I want this thing I want it to be over this year. I want to say this team has broke through, and I know in order for that to happen, we need each and every last game. Yes, I want to see that Clipper game. I'm going to get there about an hour early just so I can get to my seat early so I won't miss not a thing. But the end of the day is that they have to take care of this game tonight. And don't get it twisted. Oklahoma with no Shai, they are still capable of winning a game, Scott. If you don't come out,
of course.
If you don't come out
Sure.
ready to play,
They're going to take it to them.
You're going to be in a dogfight, and you're on the road in someone else's building. So it can definitely go left very, very quickly. You have to come out and take care of business.
No doubt about that.
And the Clippers have lost a couple of heartbreaking games because remember
the Denver game too, just following up on the road, they were able to take that game to overtime. Paul George hit a half-court shot, but was ruled at 0.10 of a second after the buzzer. They go to overtime, and Denver blitzed them in the overtime.
Yeah, and if the Clippers had won just one of those games, so either the Kings game or the Denver game, they'd be the 4th seed in the West right now.
At the moment, yes. So the Clippers are 33-30. The Suns are 33-29, to your point. So, yes, you're right about that. What else do we got?
Some people just recently are talking about why Davion is the starting point guard instead of keeping the bench together and putting Delly in the lineup tonight, which might have been my first instinct, but I'm not exactly sure what Henry's looking at me like
Henry does not agree with
he doesn't
that.
know what I'm talking about.
Henry's
here.
not in agreement. Do you care to verbalize your thoughts, High Flyer?
Come on, man.
But I mean, like, we started KZ Okpala just to keep the bench together. Like, it would just be more for fluidity.
You know what? And it's Acidine, you can bring that name up. Where's KZ now?
He's not on the team.
He is not.
Exactly. So, Davion Mitchell is the backup for De'Aaron Fox. Is there any question about that?
I think there is a little question, only in the respect that Davion just hasn't played well. So I mean, some people might be like,
we understand.
Could you run Monk at the point? Could you do something else?
Yes, I'm with you on that. Could you slide Monk in there? But then you got to understand what the young man behind the glass just said.
The fluidity of the bench. I think
the
is what he's
fluidity
saying.
of the bench, and you don't want to play with that when you talk about taking Malik Monk out of that equation. He's going to be always the guy that comes off the bench for me.
Would Goran Dragic start if he were on this team? If
he
couldn't play?
Yeah, he would.
I think he would too.
Yes, he would.
All right, we're getting back to the radio.
And you will still keep Davion at the point.
Yep. Welcome back in the game now right here. Sactown Sports, 1140, Kings and Thunder. Sunday night, by the way. Back in the game now right here. Sactown Sports, 1140. Yeah, I'll listen to myself twice.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was
Scooter, I'm looking up here at the on TV.
Yes.
And I'm watching Iowa play.
Yes.
And it's just, I know they're twins.
Yes.
I know they're twins.
Yeah.
But Keegan and his brother,
Chris,
they have the same mannerism.
Yes,
this kid just walked out on the floor, and I'm like, am I looking at an old?
Is Keegan back in
college?
Am I looking
at an old rerun of an Iowa game?
This is a 2021 game.
He walked out to the center of the court and looked just like him in the same mannerism.
I agree.
That's crazy. Usually twins don't do that. Usually they have their own personality.
Yep.
They still look like one person.
They do. By the way, Chris Murray had a big game in the victory over Michigan State. He had some big shots.
He balled out.
Yeah, he did. And obviously he's going to be an NBA player. There's no doubt about that either. But yeah, you're right. He does. You would not be able to tell. If he had a Kings uniform on right now, you would. That's Keegan Murray.
You might want to check Keegan's room.
No doubt. What I was going to say, Sunday night was great in the locker room afterwards. A little scary afterwards for the team with the weather there. They had to be put back in their hotel rooms. They were under lock because of all the tornadoes and everything in the area. Weather was good yesterday, so they're ready to go now. That is certainly good news for the Kings. If you want to join us, 1-800-920-1140. We'll be with you until 4:30. Kings Live pregame coming up at the bottom of the hour. You're smiling.
You say they were under lock for the weather?
They were. You're laughing about that?
Yeah. Fellas, it's bad weather. You can't go nowhere.
That's what they were told.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Stay inside because you know what? You know the bad weather is? We need one more win. We got to squeeze one more win out of this trip.
We might be having bad weather here. That's debatable. But when you've got tornadoes blowing through, and there was a lot of damage in the Norman, Greater Oklahoma City area, we don't make fun of that, of course.
No, I'm just joking.
I know you're having fun.
About
yeah,
the team.
I understand completely.
Hey, keeping guys in that hotel.
Yes.
No, you're not going nowhere tonight.
I understand. It's a good way. That's one less night you're out. Yes.
Hey, Uber Eats, we got it coming.
Yes, understood. Understood. Last night in the NBA, how about this? So the Pistons lost. We know they're going for the Wembanyama sweepstakes too. But interesting to me, Wiseman, playing for the Pistons, of course, got moved from Golden State. He had 23 and 7 last night. Marvin Bagley, back and healthy, had 21 and 12.
Wow. Okay.
Do you feel like that could be the start of something potentially there? You got Jaden Ivey. You've got some other younger pieces. Do you feel like Bagley and Wiseman could be a duo that might reclaim their careers?
You know what? Sometimes, Scott, all it takes is either, a player change or – a city change, a coach change. You never know what it's going to take to really, spark guys up. And at the end of the day, do both of those guys just mesh well?
Yeah. And they're both lefties.
Right. I mean,
another interesting
combo. Do they just mesh well?
Yeah. So anyways, that was of note. The Heat beat the 76ers 101-99. Butler was 1 assist shy of the triple-double. Good win for the Heat in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, definitely the Miami Heat has to get it going because the East is going to be tough, man. I mean, it isn't a cakewalk anymore, and then they are projected to be one of those championship or bust teams.
Yeah.
So they need to be in the mix.
No doubt. Heat are currently 7th in the Eastern Conference, 4 games above 500, 33-29. The Sixers 39-21, their second consecutive loss. Of course, they lost a heartbreaker to the Celtics the prior game. Speaking of the Celtics, Jason Tatum got ejected for the first time ever. They lose in New York. The Knicks have won 6 straight. So we talked about the flex March 9th at Golden One Center. The Knicks Sacramento game will be on TNT. The Knicks playing great basketball right now as they beat the Celtics 109-94.
Yeah, Julius Randle got them boys rolling down there. Tibbs got his boys playing a little defense. They're playing good old-fashioned style Knick basketball, and they're winning.
They're playing well. And the Magic, they win again, 101-93. Paolo Banchero, 29-8. He is going to be the Rookie of the Year. There's no doubt about that. And for the Pels, they're 30-32, and they have no idea when Zion Williamson is coming back. This was a team that was top 3 in the Western Conference before that all went down. The Pels now have fallen to 10th. They're technically holding on to the final play-in spot, but they've lost 4 straight, and there's just no sense they're doing anything but moving further down.
That's tough right there. I know that has to be heartbreaking when you are in the number 1 spot, when you have all your guys together, and then all of a sudden, one guy goes down, an injury, a couple of pieces missing, and you just fall off the cliff. Can they even make it back from that? Because we're talking about Zion here. We're not talking about a little guard that, gets up and down the floor. We're talking about a big guy that, other factors comes in when you start talking about trying to bring him back. His overall strength, his overall conditioning, all of those things have to be right before Zion comes back.
We're talking about a hamstring, which you just never know with hammies. I mean, look what we've seen with Harden, what we saw with Durant. I mean, these are not short-term injuries. And obviously, Zion's been out for a long time already. So
right, and he's a big guy.
He is.
When you're smaller and you don't weigh that type of you don't have that type of weight, you can get away with a lot.
Yeah.
But when you're a big guy and you're like 250 plus and you're trying to come back from a hammy and your game is definitely predicated on explosiveness, it might take a while.
No doubt. So right now they're technically a percentage point ahead of the Trailblazers, but they have the same differential wins and losses. Speaking of Portland, we cannot gloss over the 71 from your guy.
Come on now.
Dame Dollar.
Oaktown in the house.
71.
Put some spec on it.
71.
71. This kid can score. I mean, he is a walking bucket, and when he gets warm and gets it going, there's nothing you can do. You cannot stop him one-on-one. You definitely got to bring the cavalry to stop this man because, Scott, he can get to the basket. He can get downhill. He has a nice float game. Yep. He shoots a very high percentage from the free throw line, and you have to guard him at the parking lot.
No doubt. He hit a couple half-court shots. He had 13 threes in that game.
That's what you have to guard him in the urinal. This dude shoots baskets where you don't think he's going to pull up. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Pick your poison with Dame Lillard.
No doubt. And obviously he's a guy who's not buying into we're not making a run this season.
He has to buy into that. He really does. And and Dame's a special talent. He's a different type dude from where and how he grew up. He's extremely loyal. Because he understands. I mean, even when he went to Weber, he's so loyal to Weber because he understands that they were the ones who gave him his shot.
Yep.
No one else was looking at him. No one else was giving him the benefit of the doubt. So he feels the same way about Portland. He is so dedicated to that team because he could have easily been like, trade me, I'm out.
No doubt.
I'm gone. And any team would have been like licking their chops saying, we'll take you.
Yep.
but he hasn't done that. And he's still in the situation of, I'm going to play my game. I'm going to go out there and do my job to the best of my ability until they shut me down.
Yep. No doubt. All right. Games today, Wizards and Hawks. It's official now. New coach for the Atlanta Hawks. And what do you make of that situation now?
It's Mr. Snyder.
Yeah. What do you think about Quinn Snyder in Atlanta?
You know, I love what Quinn did in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought he really kept that team going. He really kept the team relevant. Now, the one thing with Atlanta, the question I will have is that, you know, it's always been a tumultuous relationship with Trey and his coaches because Trey wants it his way. Now, Trey been in the league a few years now. Maybe he didn't got to a situation to where he understands that, okay, it's not all about me. Let me get in tune with a coach, and hopefully between the coach, myself, and a couple of other players, we can turn this thing around.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is, you know, Quinn Snyder's taking over now. I mean, and this is a team that's, you know, they're 31-30 right now. It's not like they're out of a playoff scenario at all. I mean, they still got a shot in the East, but you know, how is Quinn Snyder going to come in there in 21 games, make a huge difference?
Well, I think Quinn Snyder's playing with house money right now, because if you come in and the team don't do well, you could easily say, man, this team was going to fell off the cliff. I was just coming, just trying to save it. Yeah. Now let me interject what I want to do. Or if you come in and you make the team better, the team starts winning. Now you can say, yeah, exactly what I was doing. I came and changed the narrative.
Yeah, the Hawks are currently in the 8th spot in the East. They'd won 2 straight with the interim coach, but Quinn Snyder now in charge of Atlanta. Other games, as we take a look at the games going on, Bucks and Nets tonight, the Lakers and the Grizzlies. That'll be interesting. No LeBron in that game in Memphis. Nuggets and Rockets. Right now, the Joker is averaging 24.8 points a game, 11.7 rebounds, and 10 assists. He is on the verge of becoming the next Russell Westbrook.
Killing it.
Oscar.
And please don't say that, but killing it.
Well,
it killed it. Just say triple-double machine.
Okay, fair enough.
Not Russell.
Okay. But he would be the next player to do it since Russell accomplished that. And, of course, the Big O.
And the crazy thing, Scott, is that he was just MVP, and his numbers are better this year than what they were last year. So can we say three-peat?
Yeah, he's looking like the odds-on favorite to win it again.
And you know, and another crazy thing is that his game isn't predicated on strength, speed, athleticism. So when you look at the longevity of what the Joker can do, he can play this game forever.
No doubt.
He can play this game forever. He has an old man game.
He does.
So if he gets slower, makes no difference. He can't get no slower. All right. You know, if he loses his leaping ability, well, he can't jump anyway. So
who cares?
You know, just the way he plays the game, man, is just so, you know, intriguing and mind-boggling when you see the numbers that he can put up.
It's remarkable. Pacers and Mavericks. The Mavericks still trying to get their groove with Kyrie and Luka together. They gave up a 27-point lead against the Lakers and losing that game at home. We'll see where the Mavs come, but they got to start turning it around here pretty quickly.
No doubt. You know what? I think that Kyrie definitely helped them on the offensive end. But just like here, we're still talking about, you know, a two-sided game. Mm-hmm. You can have all the offense in the world, but if you can't stop anybody on the other end, it makes no difference. Because what are you going to do when that ball is not dropping for you? You're not winning basketball games.
You sound like Jason Kidd after the press conference on Sunday when he called out Luka pretty much for playing no D.
Yeah, you no matter how good you are on the offensive end, and J. Kidd understands that.
Yeah.
If you don't play no defense, you don't win.
No doubt. All right, Spurs and Jazz, the Blazers and the Warriors. Klay Thompson's been firing on all cylinders of late. They're still waiting to get Steph Curry back. And the T-Wolves and the Clippers round out the schedule. Of course, the game we are focused in on, Kings and Thunder. Sacramento looking for their 4th straight win, looking to win back-to-back games in Oklahoma City. When we come back, we will focus in on that. Get you ready for Kings Live pregame. This is Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
All righty, we are live on YouTube.
All right, what do we got?
Well, I was having fun going back and forth with people about Damian Lillard because De'Aaron Fox is having the best month of his career. He's averaging 33 points a game.
Yep.
And he could win Western Conference Player of the Month.
He's going to.
In a world where Damian Lillard isn't scoring 42 points per game in the month of February.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
You know what? Hold on. Hey, wait a minute. Portland ain't winning.
True.
Portland's not winning. So that's an X on his side.
And without the 71, what's the average?
I believe it's like 37.
Okay.
Yeah, the 71 balling. Is obviously helping, but
no doubt.
Like statistically, this is probably the best month of Damian Lillard's career, but this is also the worst team Damian Lillard has ever played on, so it's what's required of him.
Exactly, and that's one thing to where I've always been critical on the guys who, make these votes and put these guys in, because De'Aaron Fox has had plenty of games to where he has been Herculean and we were losing. And they were like, well, he's on a bad team and they're not winning. That's why he's not getting the accolades that he should get. Now he's putting in that exact same work and even better, and we winning. He needs to win those accolades also.
No doubt. I think De'Aaron deserves it, to your point, because the Kings are the better team.
I mean, and I would love for my man D to have it. I ride with D. I'm team Dame Lillard. But at the end of the day, let's give it to who actually deserves it.
Agreed.
I've always said that wins buy you a certain amount compared to the statistics. Like last year, everyone was making the case Jokic's team didn't win enough, therefore he shouldn't win MVP. But the statistics were so overwhelming that Jokic was the MVP that he got it. I think Dame's numbers are just so overwhelming that he's probably going to get the award.
No. What you have to understand is that wins does make a lot of it, but your popularity in this league, we know, pushes you over, because you look at, you brought up the situation of Jokic. Jokic was only going up against Embiid and maybe Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they had just as many wins as those other two teams. So, for me, it was like, the popularity vote, because they wanted Embiid to be that guy so bad, but he didn't have the numbers, and the Sixers didn't play well, just like the Nuggets.
But he does this year.
He got numbers this year,
He does.
But still, all in all, you mean to tell me you think he's going to win over the Joker?
I think the Joker is the favorite. If he ends up averaging a triple-double, it's a no-brainer.
The only problem this year is that, according to win shares, which is a statistic nerds like me enjoy, Jokic is having the 9th greatest season in the history of the NBA.
I will tell you this. The only way Embiid beats out Jokic is Embiid better get a championship. Anything less than that, Jokic got the MVP.
I mean, Giannis got a championship, and it hasn't gotten him in the conversation with Jokic the past couple years. I think it's just Jokic has been so overwhelming, and this year's the best Nuggets team he's had for sure.
Kyle, I can't argue with what you said there, and I normally love to argue with you.
I guess I'm just very good at this sports radio thing.
I guess you're right about that thing. All right. What else? Anything else in the chat?
We've got 15 seconds left, so we'll come back. Also, 4:25 on the dot is when we're out.
Fantastic. Wrapping things up here on Game Night, Sactown Sports 1140. Some good conversation again in the YouTube chat during the break. We encourage you to go there if you can. Just simply sign up Sactown 1140 on the YouTube. Like us there if you would. And good discussion between who should be player of the month between Damian Lillard or De'Aaron Fox. Mm-hmm. Lillard averaging over 40 points a game in February. De'Aaron's last 7 games, we read those numbers, over 34 points a game, over 2 steals. Obviously, the team's winning. He's been amazing. 7 straight 30-plus games.
Yeah.
Could you have co-players of the month?
You know what? Honestly, I would like that better than choosing either one, because
how do you choose?
Both of those guys deserve it.
No doubt.
And when you start talking about the number game, nobody is playing at that level better than those two guys. And at the end of the day, D Fox is winning. Okay. Portland has pretty much put it in the blender. But still, all in all, when you talk about the numbers, the pure numbers, they're undeniable.
They are. And De'Aaron didn't sit out the first game after the All-Star break either.
If you want to put that stamp on
it. All right. Game night brought to you by the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you have a heart of service and you like to help children in our area who might need a mentor, this could be a great cause for you. Give Big Brothers Big Sisters a call, 916-646-9300. Children ages 7 to 18 are looking for mentorship, currently being raised by single parents. 916-646-9300 or go to bbs-sac.org to learn more about being a volunteer mentor. All right, let's take a look at who's on the floor tonight. We touched on this earlier. The Kings without De'Aaron Fox tonight, so it'll be game number 6 this year without Mr. Clutch. They're 1-4 in their prior 5 games. We'll see if they can step up. Of course, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're missing their all-star, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He'll miss his 3rd consecutive game. Didn't play Sunday. Will not play again. Ankle injury and abdominal strain, so he'll be out for the Thunder. We'll see if the Kings can take advantage of that again. Who's on the floor report? That's brought to you by Gold River Flooring. 3 locations to serve you, locally owned and employee owned as well. Sacramento Flooring off Power Inn Road in Sacramento. Gold River Carpet One off Highway 50 in Rancho Cordova, and Gold River Flooring America off East Bidwell in Folsom. All right, so thoughts on tonight. We broke it down without De'Aaron. Davian, we'll start at the point. Be great to see him have a great game, build his confidence.
No doubt. He needs it. He definitely needs that, Scooter, to be able to come out and have a productive game. But overall, Kings need this game. They need to go ahead and take care of business and knock out this road trip the right way, because they know they got a daunting task coming up as soon as they get home. So take care of business tonight, and then you take a breath. You be able to exhale, but you got to wind it back up.
Yeah, no doubt, because to your point, after tonight, it doesn't get any easier for them. They got the Clippers Friday, then a home back-to-back. The T-Wolves in Saturday, the Pels Monday. You get the Knicks on Thursday. Then you go to Phoenix before coming back to play the Bucks. So that's a tough stretch right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, rubber hits the road. So, you have to be able to, try to take care of business tonight. Exhale real quick. Get yourself something to drink, a little Gatorade, and replenish yourself, because you got another long haul.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned this too, but Oklahoma City is a team that likes to play with a lot of pace. And if you're not up to the challenge, they'll run you off the floor.
They will run you off the floor, Scott. But I think when we look at this game tonight, I don't think it's much so of the pace that's going to be an advantage for the Sacramento Kings. I think the Kings have more on the inside. I don't think that Oklahoma has a rim protector. I don't think they have anything down there that's going to stop the Kings from getting to the basket and scoring.
No doubt. It could be another big game for Sabonis, who's had plenty of big games this year. What do you think in terms of watching Isaiah Joe, who's been playing really well, and, of course, Josh Giddey, who's been really good for them?
You know what? 2 young players, man, that is playing good basketball. Getting some well-warranted time, getting a lot of ticks, a lot of time to hone their craft. I think they're going to be able to help. When Shai gets back and they get the rookie back on the floor and get another draft pick and maybe something in free agency, Oklahoma might be back in the mix.
What's your gut feeling on them? They're currently in 13th place, but they're same loss amount as the Lakers. Their same loss record as the Pels, and 1 more than the Blazers. Is this a team that's going to sneak into the play-in?
Maybe. I don't even think their main focus is can they get to the play-in. I think their main focus is let these guys play and let's see how good they get. Let's see, how well they're going to play together, because I think, next year,
they're going to Chet Holmgren back too next year.
So next year they're going to be ready to make a run.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, that's going to do it for game night. As always, Henry, great to work with you. Have a great call tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, that is it for game night. Coming up next, it'll be Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross here with that. High Flyer will stay in. The G-Man will join them as well. Tip tonight, 5 o'clock in Oklahoma City. G-Man with the call. The Kings are going for win number 36 on the year to get 11 games above 500. That's right, 11 games above 500, and to win their 4th straight in a row before they come back home, the Golden One Center. Stay tuned all evening long. Sacramento Kings basketball right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Alrighty, thanks for stopping in, everybody on YouTube. I wish I could talk with you guys all night, but I have a job to do. So enjoy the game, go Kings, and talk to you guys again soon.